This boulevard with its modern buildings is Beijing's east-west axis. It cuts across the center of the north-south axis that runs through the old city. Few people today give this much thought. To them, it is just plain old Chang'an Boulevard, the fattest way across town. Chang'an Boulevard actually refers just the section between Dongdan and Xidan. That's only about 5 kilometers, so people usually call it the 10-li Chang'an Boulevard, since there are 2 Chinese li to a kilometer. With Tiananmen as the dividing line, the section to the east is called Eastern Chang'an Boulevard, while the other side is Western Chang'an Boulevard. Chang'an Boulevard is smooth, straight, and wide, the widest street in China. At its widest, it's more than 100 meters across. The boulevard and magnificent Tiananmen Square are a perfect pair, each adding to the other's grandeur. No one visiting Beijing can miss the giant thoroughfare. In fact, it is the best-known boulevard in China, so people naturally think of the whole east-west axis as Chang'an Boulevard. They may not even know the names of its other sections. The axis starts at Tongxian County in the east and ends at Shijingshan in the west. That's a total distance about 40 kilometers, so it's called the 100-li long street. Following the 100-li long street from the air, we see not only the magnificent ancient palaces, but also the 10 imposing buildings of the 1950s. More and more modern buildings also rise straight from the ground. In a way, this long street epitomizes Beijing's construction. Ancient Beijing was reborn in 1949, and the people's government has carried out large-scale redevelopment. The total area of new housing built in the past 40 years equals 4 times the size of the old city. Beijing is also a cultural and educational center. Higher learning and scientific research institutes are spread all over the northwestern suburbs. Completed in October 1979, Capital Airport's terminal consists of a main building and 2 satellite buildings covering a total area of 60,000 square meters. It was the first modern airport facility in China and can handle 1,500 passengers each hour. Capital Airport is the gateway to 38 domestic routes to various parts of the country and international routes heading to 29 cities in 25 countries and regions around the world. With its clean, simple but original design, the China International Exhibition Center has become a window on the world for the Chinese people. The Central Color Television Center started regular transmission in March 1988. The 136.5-meter high TV center currently broadcasts about 30 hours of programs on its 3 channels each day. The Beijing Grand View Garden was built according to the description of the palace in the famous classical novel Dream of the Red Chamber. Construction began in June 1984 and took 5 years. The garden contains more than 40 attractions, including pavilions, halls, corridors, bridges, and memorial archways. The Beijing International Hotel was designed by Chinese architects. Its 29-floor main building was 3 curving wings that give it a very modern look. Wanpingcheng City is located beside the famous Lugouqiao Bridge, known abroad as the Marco Polo Bridge. This is where the curtain rose on the Chinese people's fight against Japanese occupation in 1937. A memorial hall of the war is built here. Sheraton Hotel is a Sino-American joint venture. Its 22 floors are encased in crystal-clear glass walls. The China Theater is a huge modern arts center so large that 1,000 performers can appear at one time. The Shangri-La Hotel is run by the Shangri-La International Hotels Group. It has 24 floors and stands 74.6 meters tall. With a character all their own, the Longchuan Hotel in Mentogou and the Huilongguan Hotel in Shahe are both run by farmers in the suburbs of Beijing. Farmers running hotels is something new that has emerged since China's economic reforms were introduced. The Sino-Japanese Friendship Hospital is a modern comprehensive hospital which gathers together medical treatment, teaching, and scientific research. Beijing Television was established in May 1979. 10 years of hard work have produced rapid development. Today, the station broadcasts about 25 hours of programs each day on 3 channels. The speed and scale of urban expansion in the past 10 years has surpassed any period in Beijing's past. Dozens of modern buildings have sprung up all over the city, adding new vitality to the ancient capital. Beijing has also made great strides in housing for its residents during the past 10 years of reforms. Apartment buildings and new residential districts are spreading all around the edges of the city. There have been 27 new residential districts created since 1978. In 1988 alone, apartment buildings were built with a total area of 6 million square meters. Housing conditions in Beijing continue to improve. Looking at Beijing from the sky, the city seems to be a sea of buildings, stretching as far as the eye can see. This is an area of single-story houses located to the south of Tiananmen Gate, quite a contrast to the high rises we've just seen, but they are an important part of Beijing's character. About 3 million square meters of old-fashioned housing scattered throughout the city are going to be renovated or rebuilt. Construction of the Sanyuan flyover began in 1984 and took 9.5 months to complete. It has made a big difference. Traffic experts say it diminishes 65,000 hours of vehicle waiting time each year, and that in turn saves 250,000 liters of oil. They say time saved by bus passengers totals an amazing 300,000 hours a year. Beijing's first overpass was completed in 1974, and 39 overpasses have been built along the second and third ring road since then. Their completion has eliminated many crossroads, which were so often jammed with traffic in the past. That's being especially important as Beijing's economy becomes more dynamic. All these improvements still can't keep up with the needs of the rapidly increasing volume of traffic. By the end of 1988, the city's permanent population had surpassed 10 million, while the transient population was about 1.4 million. The city had 430,000 motor vehicles and well over 7 million bicycles. There are also more than 100,000 motor vehicles entering Beijing each day from other parts of the country. These huge crowds of people and rivers of vehicles play havoc with the city's traffic. The difficulty of walking, biking, or taking the bus is a constant headache for city residents. The city's overloaded traffic system is being strained more and more each year. Asian Games facilities began in October 1986. These projects include 27 newly built or renovated stadiums and gymnasiums and an athletes' village. They cover an area of more than 1 million square meters, requiring a total investment of more than 2 billion yuan and 3 years of construction. Getting all this ready has been a tough job. More than 30,000 workers are busy at the sites to ensure everything will be ready on time. People from all provinces have offered selfless support, and people at home and abroad have given generous financial donations. New architectural designs, new technology, and new building materials have been used in the Games projects to ensure they are suitable for such a prestigious international sporting event. The 11th Asian Games give the great city of Beijing a chance to demonstrate its unique charm and great zeal to its guests from Asian countries and friends from throughout the world.